Welcome back to Sports News Africa, to the Africa Road Race Cycling Championships underway in Pietermaritzburg, and Ashleigh Moolman-Pasio has been shining for South Africa with a string of great performances. The Glasgow Commonwealth Games bronze medalist has so far bagged 2 golds, winning both the team and individual time trial for South Africa. Moolman-Pasio will be going for a hat-trick of gold medals when she takes part in the elite women's race. Ashleigh joins us on the line from South Africa. Ashleigh, a fantastic ride to scoop the individual time trial. Did the race go according to plan?
Yeah, well, time trial is always a race against the clock, so it's just you on the road, and you have to kind of find the motivation yourself. There's no real, no one you're racing right there. So yeah, I think it went really well. The course was always going to be a course well suited to me because there was quite a lot of climbing, and then in the morning. It was quite windy as well. We woke up to quite windy conditions. So yeah, I was really happy because all the challenges help. I feel like I have the experience, and I've taken part in many time trials overseas. So for me, all the little challenges help to make it that much easier for me to just take advantage of my experience. So yeah, everything went really well. Had no mechanical problems out on course, and yeah, I felt strong. So I'm really happy to defend my title for another year.
Can you explain the difference between the individual and the team trial and how you prepare?
Yeah, so we took part in a team time trial earlier in the week. So what that means is that the full women's South African team, we raced together, and we were 4 riders, and we take part against other teams from other countries. So the difference there is that, there's 4 of you on the bike. So you take your turns on the front, which means, yeah, it's a team effort, also a race against the clock, but a team effort. And then the individual time trial, it's just me taking part as an individual to represent South Africa. So I'm out on the road by myself. Obviously others starting just ahead of me, and we were going off at 2-minute intervals, but yeah, it's just me out on the road on my own.
You pulled clear from your rivals in the last 5 kilometers of the race. Do you work on this in training?
Time trialing is a very specific event, so it's definitely something that takes time. We don't start in a bunch, we start individually at time. While I'm out on the road, I don't necessarily know where I am with regards to all my competition. I did pass a few riders en route, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I've won the event. I only really know once I cross the finish line. So in a time trial event, something that becomes quite important is using tools like power meters, using average speed to determine or to kind of know how you're performing. So yeah, in training, we definitely, do specific training where you work on your threshold power, and time trialing is a type of event where you'll be sitting at threshold power or just above. So knowing your numbers from training helps one to pace yourself in the event.
Well, Friday sees the elite women's road race. Does your dominance in this discipline put you under any added pressure?
Of course, we'd like to defend the title. So I'd like to win the title. Of course, I'd also like to defend the title. Yeah, some pressure, but South African elite women, we have kind of proved our dominance. So lucky, it's on home soil, so we have sort of a home advantage. I think, and it's a tough route. We have a nice strong team, a nice vibe in the team. So we're really looking forward to tomorrow to work together as a team to ensure that South Africa defends the title. And whoever it is that wins it, it's just most important that it's South Africa that finishes, crosses the line first.
So how competitive is women's cycling at the moment in South Africa and across the continent?
Women's cycling, is definitely growing. I'm impressed at the African Continental Champs to see a definite growth or increase in number of women competing from all around Africa. And this is very much thanks to the work of JP Van Sale and the UCI, who have been running a training camp for women from all around Africa preceding this event. So it's really great to see growth in numbers, also just to see some continuity in representation from certain countries like Eritrea. I've seen the girls a few years in a row now, so it looks like they're really starting to make some great progress. And I think there's a lot of a lot of talent out in Africa, and it's just a case now of exposing that talent and giving the girls the right infrastructure and support to be able to reach their full potential. And that definitely is happening, And in terms of South Africa, it's really great also to see some great young girls coming through. We had a full junior squad here to take part in the event as well. So really happy to see some good growth in African and South African women's cycling.
So where does this event fit in with your plans for next year's Olympics in Rio?
Yeah, well, actually, this event is quite early in the season with regards to sort of the European season. I spend a majority of the time in Europe competing on the international stage of women's cycling. So for me, this wasn't actually a big focus because, Olympic year next year, it's a big year for us in terms of qualification, but points only really start to count from the 1st of June. So, the first part of the season hasn't really been a big focus for me. My focus is more on the second half of the season because that's when the points count for the Olympic Games. But, having said that, I have come from a really good training block, some really great base training. And, so I knew nationals last week. I think that helped to get some racing in the legs before the African Continental Champs. And like I said, it's important for South Africa to get the points just to increase our country ranking, but the points aren't that important as of yet for Olympic qualification. That only starts to count later in the season.
Ashleigh, thank you for speaking to Sports News Africa, and good luck.